The US Vice President, J.D. Vance, says he's confident that peace in the Middle East will last, and he said Donald Trump's plan for the region was going better than expected. The US Vice President is in Israel looking to shore up the Gaza ceasefire. He spoke to reporters in the last hour.
This is going to take a little bit of time. And look, our warning to Hamas is very straightforward. The terms of the 20-point plan that the president put out there is very clear. It's supported not just by Israel, but by all of our Gulf Arab friends. It's that Hamas has to disarm. It's that Hamas has to actually behave itself. And that Hamas, while all the fighters can be given some sort of clemency, they're not going to be able to kill each other, and they're not going to be able to kill their fellow Palestinians. Now, again, that's going to take a little bit of time. We're talking about how to set up the security and humanitarian apparatus to put all this in place. But right now, where I stand, I feel confident that we're going to be in a place where this peace lasts, where it's durable. And if Hamas doesn't cooperate, then as the President of the United States has said, Hamas is going to be obliterated.
Now, it all comes after Donald Trump issued another warning to Hamas, claiming several countries are ready to send troops into Gaza if the group continues to violate their agreement with the US. In a post on social media, the US president said numerous of our now great allies in the Middle East and areas surrounding the Middle East have explicitly and strongly, with great enthusiasm, informed me that they would welcome the opportunity at my request to go into Gaza with a heavy force and straighten out Hamas if Hamas continues to act badly in violation of their agreement with the US. I told these countries and Israel, not yet. There is still hope that Hamas will do what is right. If they do not, an end to Hamas will be fast, furious and brutal. Our defence and security analyst, Michael Clark, is with me. So a stern warning there from President Trump. But J.D. Vance seems optimistic that optimistic for now at least, that it all could last.
Yeah, well, if they can persuade from the outside all the parties who are belligerents in this crisis to hold, which means Hamas, it means the IDF, it means some of these groups like Abu Shubab in the south, who are the sort of family clan groups who are trying to get control of Gaza that the IDF has withdrawn from, and there's increasing incidents every day between Hamas and these groups, which gets into the IDF area as well. So if they can hold the ceasefire from the outside, then good for them. But there's a complete confusion between what CENTCOM, Central Command, are trying to do, which is to put together an Arab-led stabilisation force, and what President Trump seems to be talking about is a force that would sort out Hamas fast and furiously. Well, that's exactly what the IDF have been trying and failing to do for 2 years. So if he thinks that any other force is going to be better at it than the IDF, step forward. Who are you talking about? And it certainly won't be America.
Well, but he also seems to be suggesting that it would be, not only Israelis but Gulf states and this guy. I mean, it's difficult to see.
Show me the Gulf state that will put a brigade of its troops to work with the IDF to actually open fire on young men who it claims, or it is told, are Hamas terrorists. Won't happen.
No. And now, Ukraine, it's very interesting, isn't it? Because we had this whole idea announced by Trump not that long ago, saying Budapest, Putin and I will be sitting down again, second summit in what? A couple of months, 2 or 3 months?
August 15th was the Alaska summit,
And now people seem to be rowing back, and the White House saying that nothing planned at the moment, and lots of diplomatic noises that it might not happen for a while.
Yeah, I mean, the Budapest summit, first of all, was going to be at the end of the week, last week. Then it was going to be sometime this week. Then it was going to be soon. Now it's off indefinitely because Lavrov, Russian foreign minister, and Rubio, Marco Rubio, the Secretary of State, have talked on the phone but are not yet going to meet. They would need to meet before the two leaders meet. And the point is the Russians don't want this, that Putin has achieved his objective. He was very worried by the prospect that the United States would give Tomahawk missiles, in some numbers apparently, to Ukraine. And to head off that prospect, he got on the phone to Trump, had a 2-hour phone call with him, completely turned him around 180 degrees, and he dangles to Trump the idea, look, we can talk about ceasefire and peace, let's have a summit. And as soon as you start talking about that summit, it gets further and further away. It's like holding a carrot in front of a donkey. You just keep the donkey going forward, but never reaching the carrot. And that's the point, that Putin has achieved his immediate objective of heading off the Tomahawk issue, and he does not want a summit that would discuss a ceasefire.
Well, we've just seen them in Anchorage, the red carpet and so forth. How long could Putin go on playing Trump like this and delaying like this before Trump realises that it's not going to be quite so easy?
Yeah, well, you see, I think the penny did drop after Anchorage, Mark, because the rest of the world knew that with all the fluff of this thing, that actually Trump was manipulated and it was actually quite humiliating for him. And I think Putin knows if he goes to another summit, he can't pull that trick twice. Yeah. If he goes to another summit, he'll have to offer something. He has to put something on the table that gives Trump something a bit substantial that he never got from Anchorage, which is just yet another reason why Putin doesn't want that summit. So he'll keep the carrot, heading ahead of the donkey as long as he can. But there may come a point at which he's got to cash it in and say, right, we will have a summit and here are my terms. We'll see, but it's not going to be any time soon. Because
there were, according to Trump, talks going to be taking place this week to sort of pave the way for the summit. It's not even clear, I think, whether those talks are going to
There's been a phone call. That's it. There's been a phone call between the two foreign ministers,
Rubio and Lavrov, yeah,
which was said to be constructive, but no meeting, certainly, or a meeting of lower-level officials that I'm aware of.
Which would be necessary to pave the way.
Exactly.
For the
These are the Sherpas. I mean, the Sherpas, do all the groundwork for the foreign ministers. They do the groundwork for the leaders. So we're not even at Sherpas' work, as far as I know at the moment. We've just got a phone call between the two foreign ministers and no agreed date for them to meet to talk about the big meeting.
Right, and just finally, what does it mean for where this all goes in the next, 3 or 4 months? It's going to be a difficult winter. Clearly,
it will be. It's a very difficult winter for Ukraine. There are blackouts now in Chernihiv, up in the northeast. Today, very big air attacks on their energy structure, and there's no water, no power in Chernihiv as we speak. Yeah. So the Ukrainians are facing the fourth winter, which will be the harshest yet for them. On the other hand, they don't look as if they're going to give in. And Trump, as I keep saying, is on a zigzag path out of this war. I thought he'd be out of it by now, to be honest. But he's zigzagging out of the war. And the zigzags matter because they will determine who he blames for what I suspect will be the failure of the whole peace process attempt to get a ceasefire. And if he blames Zelensky and Europeans, he could pull the plug from everything that they're helping Ukraine with. At the moment, they're giving Ukraine a fair bit of help on targeting and intelligence and allowing Europeans to buy American weapons to give to Ukraine. Yeah. If America pulled all that support, then Ukraine would have a much harder time, and so would the Europeans. Yeah. So the zigzags matter because when we get to the point of failure, which I think is where we're heading, the question is who gets the blame is a critical question.
Yeah. OK, well, thank you. And as much as they need Tomahawks, they also need defensive weapons.
Patriot batteries, They've got about 8. Yeah. We think they need at least another 10.
Yeah. OK, Michael, thanks very much indeed.